Hi, everybody. Welcome to week 14 of our English 3010 online course. Week 14, y'all. This is our penultimate week, and whew, it's wild. I am so proud of all of the work that you guys have really persevered to accomplish this semester, especially your literature review papers, which are done. Yay! So hopefully that feels really good. Now I need to grade them. So yes, keep me in your thoughts and prayers. Anyway, this week we are transitioning to our final assignment. Project 4 starts this week and it's only a 2-week project. We've got a couple other things going on, including the writing showcase, which will be again April 23rd from 1 to 2 p.m. And keep your eyes peeled because in a couple hours, I'm going to post the Zoom link for that in its own announcement on our Canvas page. So in this video, I really want to go over the final portfolio assignment. And other than that, we'll talk through some of the other smaller assignments that you've got going for this week, and then we'll close out this video. So let's head over to our Canvas view and we'll get right to it. Okay. So here we are, week 14. And you can see here, just like glancing at the overview, we're going to talk about this reflective portfolio assignment. You've got one final discussion. I know, try not to cry. And this discussion is actually a whole class discussion. So a couple of you have already started kind of engaging with each other on this discussion, but I'll show you that more in a second. And then by the end of this week, I'm hoping to get from everybody the artifact that you're going to share at the showcase. We talked about that a couple weeks ago, but I'll go over that again just so that we're all on the same page. Okay, but here's what's going on. Week 14, lots of stuff. In terms of our overview, we're looking past the literature review. That literature review gave us all really valuable experience finding, evaluating, synthesizing sources, and thinking about conversations within the discourse community that we want to be a part of. So now we're going to use that experience and all the other research that we've engaged in this semester to revise our research guide site and complete a reflective letter. This week's tasks include watching your instructor video for week 14, which you're already doing, so Air 5. In terms of reading, lots of stuff to read. You want to read that Project 4 assignment description. I'm going to go over it in this video, but you should definitely read through it for yourself. Any feedback in Canvas? I will say I'm a little backed up in terms of assignments and feedback, so I'm going to try to start giving you guys feedback at the end of this week. Fingers crossed. It might not be till the weekend or maybe even next week, but keep your eyes peeled for feedback from me on your literature reviews. You'll want to review Beaufort's knowledge domains and at least choose one of the following texts to serve as evidence in your revision rationale, which I'm going to talk to you about in a second. But these texts are relatively short and they're meant to sort of help you think through questions that might pop into your head at this juncture, such as, why is she making us do this? Well, number one, because revision is always good. It's always going to make our compositions better, but there are so many arguments for thinking about your web writing for digital spaces in light of the discourse communities that you want to be a part of for your career. And all of these sort of speak to that. So pick one of these because that's going to help you as you write up your reflection letter and your revision rationale. In terms of writing, participate in discussion 7. Also, make sure that whatever artifact you have, you get that finished by the end of the week for the showcase. So we've got our week sort of laid out here. let me show you our project 4 assignment description. So we are creating a portfolio. It's not an extensive one. It's some kind of a mini portfolio. But in this portfolio, your goal is to communicate with me what you've gained from this class. And hopefully those gains are extensive. First of all, you're going to do this by a detailed revision process of your research guide site, along with an accompanying rationale for all of your changes. And number 2, you're going to draft a thoughtful and detailed reflective letter where you get to look back on your work this semester and decide what were the important moments, what were the important experiences for you in your learning. Does that make sense? So any of the writing and research practices that we've done this semester could have contributed to your learning, including but not limited to brainstorming, organizing pre-writing strategies, drafting scaffolding, revising, narrowing topics, framing scholarly conversations, navigating databases, selecting, yada, 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 yada. I'm going to let you guys read through the rest of those because, I'm getting tired. There's so much that we did this semester. We can always talk about any of these practices in office hours with me, office hours with your peer mentors. You guys can chat about them in discussions with each other. But the main thing is that what we're trying to do in this project is reflect on what we've done and articulate why what we've done in this class is helpful to us for our learning. And it's answering that question that's going to help your metacognition really kick in, and it's what's going to make that whole reflection process actually use value to you, have use value for your learning moving forward from this course. Does that make sense? All right, so our assignment prompt: revise your research guide. So that means your website, the site that you started like in the first week of class. And some of you have been working on it, which is awesome. If you haven't touched it, now is the time. Taking everything that you know, everything that you've learned, and engaging in summarizing and synthesizing your professional interview content. So all of that stuff, the information from your professional interview, anything that you've learned in the process of your research throughout this entire semester, goes into key additions and revisions to your research guide. Make those changes to the website and then write up a brief memo that outlines all of your changes and a 1 to 2 sentence rationale. Why did you change those things? Did you add stuff in? Why? Did you delete stuff? Why? Did you move stuff around? Why? I think you get the picture. When it comes to your reflective letter, this is the piece of composition wherein I'll be able to see all of who you are as a writer at this point in the semester. And who you are as a writer at this point in the semester is totally different from who you were during Project 1. During those first reflections, during those first discussions, you are a different writer today. And this reflective letter is where I get to see that manifested. So basically what I'm asking for here is for you to describe in detail how your work in this course has helped to produce those changes in you as a writer, in your knowledge, in your skills, in the practices of writing that you engage in. And the evidence that you're going to use to show me those changes is your own work. And you get to decide what of your own work you're going to include and cite in this letter. So a good way to start, you can brainstorm by starting to ask yourself these questions, right? What did I know and who was I as a writer before I started this class? What did I want to learn? Think about your shining, hopeful, lovely self back in January. What were you hoping for out of this course? And then, what did you actually learn in this course? They could be the same thing, and that'd be awesome alignment of expectations and reality. They could be totally different. And then, how have your own writing and research practices changed throughout the course of this semester? They may have changed a little, they may have changed a lot. All of these brainstormings, I don't necessarily mean for you to answer each question in the letter as much as these questions should help you think about what the main point of your letter is going to be. Maybe you'll go narratively through your whole semester talking about what you've gained in writing, reading, researching, and reflecting. Maybe you're going to hone in on one of these that really becomes the theme for you. Either way, your goal in this reflection is to make a claim. You are different as a writer. I am different as a writer. Maybe that's your claim. Maybe this is how I am different as a writer today than I was at the beginning of class. That's a claim. I've really grown in these areas. That's a claim. You want to make a claim in this letter. You're arguing for how and why you're a different writer today than you were when you started this class. Think about the work you've done and how it has changed you. And then organize your sections of this letter. It's a 4-page letter, so maybe one outcome per page. I don't know. I'm not going to tell you your business. You set it up how you like. But you're going to make direct references to your own writing, and you're going to cite yourself. And then you're going to workshop your paper. And then you're going to turn in your portfolio will include your revised research guide site, which you can just paste the URL if you like at the top of your rationale document, or you can hyperlink it, whatever you fancy. You know what I mean? 1 to 2 page revision rationale. So like that's each change again with 1 to 2 sentences for why you changed it. Your 4 to ish, however many pages reflection letter, and any evidence. You don't have to actually attach the pieces unless you really want to. And that's it. Everything needs to be submitted to Canvas. You can see the rubric here for our assignment. All right. If you have questions about our final project, please feel free to email me. Or, of course, many of you have been setting up office hours appointments with me. It's like the boom time at the end of the semester. But feel free, if you'd like to talk like face-to-face, in person, shoot me an email and we will set up a Zoom appointment. Absolutely. But don't forget, this final discussion, this Reflect Project, it's going to ask you to talk all together as a class. We haven't really done that much or like almost at all this semester. And so I really wanted to take some opportunity for everyone to be able to talk to everyone. Talk. I know, it's a discussion. It's not perfect. Not a perfect system. But think about what you can reflect on from your own experiences and where you might take the stuff you learned from this class. So that's the reflect part and the project part, looking forward. And then in about 100 words, respond to 2 or 3 of your classmates' reflections. You can see a couple folks have already jumped in and are starting to respond to each other. So get in there, respond, help each other. And my goal, my sneaky goal here is to have you guys start generating with each other ideas about stuff you can write about in your final reflection. Know what I mean? Okay. All right, I think that's all that I have. I'm going to scoot back out to our full view and close out this video. Okay, second to last week. Here we go. We hopefully will just sprint with abandon toward the end of the semester. I am really excited to share with you guys more of the details about the writing showcase. Once again, look for that. There's going to be a separate announcement here this week with all the details. Additionally, everybody just show some love to Avi and Mubasher, who have been amazing peer mentors for you guys. Stop by their office hours. I believe this week is the last week that they're going to hold office hours. So check in with them because they're students too. They've got finals. So we're going to see them at the writing showcase and then say farewell to them. So show your peer mentors some love. For the rest of this week, I don't know if you guys saw my announcement last week about extra credit. I believe that survey is still open. So if you want to take the CLC Peer Mentor Perception Survey, I will still give you extra credit to do that if you haven't done so already. Otherwise, I hope you guys have a great rest of your week, and I will see you in next week's, our final week's video. Bye, everybody.